All right, you guys, welcome to class. This hour, we are going to be practicing meeting the teacher. Okay, so we'll check out some new vocabulary words, words that we would use in that sort of situation. All right, and we'll take a look at a dialogue of things that a teacher would say to you, and what you could say to the teacher. All right, so yeah, this is mainly a class for parents or people that have children that have their kids in school where they speak English. Okay, and they're looking to practice those type of words. Right. The link to the class materials, let me get that for you here in 1 second. Okay, the link is in the chat box. Okay, I'll also put it in the Google chat box for you. All right, so go ahead and open up the link there. And I'll open up mine here for you guys to see as I'm working through it. All right, and Laszlo, how are you?
Hello, Chad. I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm doing good. Nice to see you here.
Thank you.
Great. How was your weekend?
Oh, my family and I have a going to trip.
You had a trip, you said?
Yes, yes.
Where did you go?
The outside in the city.
Okay, so you went outside of the city?
Yes.
All right, sounds good. And Andrew, welcome back. How are you? Andrew, how are you?
Oh, can you hear me? Yeah, good.
All right.
Sure.
Yeah, I can hear you. How you doing?
Yeah, fine.
Very good. Very good. Okay, you guys, let's go ahead and get started. Let's start off with this dialogue first. And Laszlo, I'll have you read and be the teacher, since we only have 2 of us here. So Laszlo, you'll be the teacher, and Andrew, I'll have you be the parent. Okay. So
Okay.
we'll read through this dialogue and switch off. Okay. So go ahead and start off, Laszlo.
Okay. Hello, just must be Pedro's father.
Yes, I'm Alejandro. You can call me Alex.
Nice to meet you, Alex. Pedro is pleasure to have in the classroom.
That's good to hear. I'm a bit worried about his English.
He is improving quickly. We are giving him extra help in reading and listening.
Okay. Is there anything we should be working on at home?
Yes, I'm glad you asked. Please make sure he reads his reading every night. Write your initial in the homework book after he completes his reading.
Sorry, could you repeat that, please? My English isn't very strong.
No problem. Please remind Pedro to read his book every night. After he reads sings his homework book, I will choose book at the reading level.
Okay, thank you. We usually read together. I am learning English too.
Excellent. Do you have any other question or contents?
I don't think so. Oh, yes. When should I expect a report card?
Laszlo, the last sentence.
I don't think so. I don't think, teacher. Report cards go out 3 times a year. You get the first on the December.
Okay. All right. Very good. All right, you guys. Please take a look at the dialogue here. Are there any words or phrases you do not understand?
And I understand completely.
Okay. Laszlo?
Uh, I I looking. Okay, that's good. Then
Okay.
I think.
All right. Very good. Let's go down to our next page here. Okay, and we're going to look at some of these phrases and how and we'll look at the other ways that you can say those. Okay, so our first one here, um, Andrew, go ahead and read this first group of sentences, please, under "you must be." Okay.
Okay. You must be Pedro's father. You're Pedro's father, aren't you? I'm guessing you are Pedro's father. I'm Pedro's teacher, and you are?
Okay. Very good. So when we say "you must be," okay, you are you're taking an educated guess. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
if I work with Andrew's wife, for example, all right, and we work in the same place, and we have a party, all right, and she shows up with a man, and she's let everyone know that she's married and whatnot, and we're all friends. If I've never met Andrew before, but I know that his wife is married, and they walk up, I could say, "Hey, you must be Andrew, or you must be, so and so's husband." Okay, so
Exactly.
that is it's an educate that we would hope so. That is it's an educated guess. Okay, you must be Pedro's mom or mother or father. Okay. Now you can use, instead of saying mother or father, you can say mom or dad. Okay. Um, a little less informal, but it's still something that they may say. You must be Pedro or Peter's mom or Peter's dad. Okay. So instead of saying hearing mother or father, they may say mom or dad. Now, looking at the phrase here, okay, I'm guessing. Okay, so I'm guessing is the same as you must be. All right, and you're Pedro's father, aren't you? Okay, that's more of a question. Okay, again, it's a guess there. Now, can you think of any other way that they could that a teacher could say hi to you and guess who you are? Can you think of any other ways there, Andrew?
Um, I think you are Pedro's father. Yeah, instead of getting.
Yeah, I think. Okay, you could say Pedro's father, right? Okay, so when you instead of saying I think you are, or something like that, you could just say Pedro's father, right? Okay, and reach to shake the person's hand. So when they
Mhm.
say that, they say the name and then right. Okay, they say that a question. Okay, right is like saying aren't you? Okay, but you hear how the voice scoops at the end, right? Okay, Pedro's father, right? Okay, that may be another way that you could hear that. Okay, very good. Let's go to Laszlo.
Okay.
All right, and let me have you read these next sentences, please.
Okay. You can call me Alex. Please call me Alex. Most people call me Alex. I usually go by Alex. Alex is fine.
Okay, now why would we say these phrases, class?
Maybe it's more like a friendly, not friendly.
Yeah, yeah, it is friendly. Okay, because here the person's name is Alejandro. That's a long, long name.
Ah, yeah, it's like a short form, yeah, of Alejandro.
Yeah, so for example, Andrew, if you wanted to change your name, you could go by Andy.
Andy,
So
yeah.
if you you were introducing yourself, okay, to someone, and someone was to say, "Hey, you must be," and let's say you had a child named Samantha, you must be Samantha's father, um, and you said, "Yes, yes," and you say, "Andrew, isn't it?" Say, yes, it is Andrew, but most people call me Andy. Okay? Say, most people call me Andy, or please call me Andy. Okay, if that's what you want to go by, you know. And yeah, so Matthew would go to Matt. Okay, Robert, Rob. Okay, a funny one is Richard. Richard is Dick. Don't know why, but yeah, some guys whose name is their name is Richard. They go by Dick. Doesn't make any sense to me, but that's what they do. So yeah, you can if you want, if you have a longer name, and you prefer to be called a different name, or if you have a nickname. Okay, so my name may be Chad, but let's say that I go by Scooter. All right, that's a name that I use. Most people call me Scooter. Okay, Scooter. There you go. Okay, whatever. All right, that's not true. It's just a name I thought up. But yeah, if you have a nickname, okay, you can say most people, and this is what they usually say. You will hear most people, okay, or please call me. All right, and those are most common, even though you do hear these other ones. Okay, you can call me Alex. I usually go by Alex. So when you hear someone say I usually go by, it's the same thing as say my name as. That's what they're saying. They're saying you can say my name as this, which it makes you guys more friendly. Okay, because it's like you're saying my friends usually call me this. All right, so that's a good phrase to know. All right,
Okay,
let's go
okay.
to our next one here. Andrew, go ahead and read this, please.
Pedro is a Pedro is a pleasure to have in the classroom. Pedro is a pleasure to teach. I am enjoying having Pedro in my classroom. Pedro is an excellent student.
All right, very good. Can you think of any other ways of saying that Pedro's a good student? Okay.
Okay.
Pedro,
What other words could we use there instead of excellent or is a pleasure to teach? What other words could we use there?
Pedro is one of the clever students in the class.
Okay. Instead of cleverest, the teacher would probably use
Smarter.
smartest.
Smarter.
Hmm.
Smarter.
Okay, so one of the. Okay, smartest. All right, and yeah, we would use superlative there. Okay, one of the smartest. Okay, that's good. We could say wonderful. Okay, that would be a good to use. So,
Mhm.
Pedro is a wonderful student. Um, Pedro is a great student. Okay, Laszlo, can you think of
Yes.
another adverb that we could use to describe Pedro instead of saying excellent or having him be a joy or enjoying having him in the class? Can you think of any other adjectives?
Oh, excellent. Good as well.
Okay,
Good.
good. Uh-huh.
Good.
Yeah.
Uh, Clever.
Okay. All right. Any other words you can think of, Laszlo?
Oh, I don't. I
Okay.
don't alone word.
All right, no problem. So yes, wonderful, great, good. All right, these type of words. The teacher, sorry, the teacher will use those type of words. This is a fairly common phrase to use as well. Pedro is a pleasure to teach. A pleasure. Okay, that means that the child does not create any problems. Okay. Okay, a pleasure to teach, does not create any problems. The child participates and is an overall good student.
What about Pedro is a gifted student? Yeah.
Yeah, a gifted student. That would be a way of saying that he's very smart.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, participate. So we've got participates and is an overall good student.
Sure. I've got
Okay,
a question. Can we
sure.
say like Pedro isn't capable student, capable or not?
Yeah, you can say capable. You could also say a typical student if you mean if the teacher means that they are average. Okay. Now,
Mm-hmm.
what could the teacher say if the child was not doing good?
He's not so smart.
All right. Yeah, come right out and say it. Your child's not so smart. What instead of being so blunt, how could they say that? Usually, what they would say is, okay, they would say something kind, and then they would use the conjunction but. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's great having Pedro in class, but, all right? And they would usually say he or she, so he, she, like that, is having issues.
With something.
Yeah, is having issues with math, English,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Things like that, where they are so they're going to say something nice first, okay, which is typical, and then they'll say, but he or she is having issues with this particular subject. Okay, so that's definitely a way that they would say that. Or instead of issues, they may say problems, or the teachers may say, but I'm concerned. Okay, I'm
Okay.
concerned with Pedro's, okay, Pedro's ability in with, okay, your child. So with your child's ability in, and then a subject. Okay, so if the
Okay.
teacher uses I'm concerned, okay, is having issues or problems, okay, that means that there is an area that you need to be concerned about to look at. Okay,
Okay.
so if the teacher says it's a pleasure having them there, he's an excellent student, things like that, everything's good. Okay, but these other phrases, that's when you want to pay closer attention to what's going on. Okay. All right, let's go to our
Okay.
next phrase here. All right, Laszlo, let me have you read
Okay.
these next sentences below.
That's good to hear. That's nice to know. That's music to my ears. That's kind of you to say. I'm glad to hear that.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that. All
Glad
right.
to hear that.
Okay, so these would be responses for if something is positive. That's nice to know. This is a good one here. That's music to my ears. Okay, why would we say that's music to my ears? What do you think?
To be honest, I have no idea.
Okay, all right. Is music for the most part is enjoyable to listen to, right? So for the most part, okay, music is nice, it's beautiful, things like that. So when we say that something is music to my ears, that means that it's good to hear. Okay, so if you go into work and your boss says, "Well, Laszlo, I'm going to give you a raise of $5 an hour," you could say, "Wow, that's music to my ears." All
Oh,
right,
okay.
and
Yeah.
so now you're making an extra $5 more an hour, and that really bumps up how much money you're making a year, and that's great. So that would be music to your ears. That's music to my ears. Okay, so and that's really in a happy situation. Now, if you're you'd usually use this in more of an adult professional situation, like here between the teacher and the parent. If you're a teenager, okay, probably would not use this phrase. All right. If you're a younger generation, you probably wouldn't use that very much either, but you still can. It's not like people will look at you funny. It's just not a typical phrase that the younger generation would say. Okay.
Okay.
This other one here, that's kind of you to say. All right, is another way of saying, well, thank you for the kind remarks, because remember here they're saying it's a pleasure to have him in class. Okay, that's kind of you to say. Okay, meaning that you're happy to hear that, and you're paying them a compliment back because they complimented your child. That's kind of you to say. Okay. All right, so we've gone over some phrases I'm worried about, I'm a bit concerned about, I've noticed. Okay, we've also discussed is having issues or is having problems. Okay, so we've talked about that a little bit. Let me have you read this next group right here, Andrew.
Okay. Is there anything we should be working on at home? What should be what should we be doing at home? What can we do at home to help Pedro improve? Do you have any suggestions for extra work?
Good, good. Okay. Can you think of any other phrases or sentences we could use here, Andrew, in asking if there's anything else they could do?
If there are some issues we have to work on at home.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Very good. Very good. So yes, if there are problems or areas of concern, okay, the phrase that I used there was areas of concern.
Okay.
Okay, going off of I'm a bit concerned about, so areas of concern like math or science or whatever it would be. Okay, you could ask these questions. All right, is there anything we should be working on at home? Now, when we say working on, all right, that does not mean building something or getting another job, but homework. Okay, that's what we're asking. That's what that means. Is there anything we should be working on at home? Anything extra? Okay, is what you're asking about. Okay, you could also ask for suggestions. Okay, these would be ideas that the teacher could give you so that you could improve one way or another. Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's go to Laszlo. Laszlo, please read these sentences, please.
Okay. Sorry, could you repeat that please? Would you mind saying that again? I'm sorry I missed that. Pardon, I didn't quite get the last part.
Okay. These are great phrases to use when you don't understand something fully. All right. Don't be afraid to use these. If you did not understand something, please let the person know. And this goes in any situation. All right. Now, if you are playing a game or whatever and it's not related to work or whatever, it's not that big of a deal. But if you are in a professional situation and you need to understand exactly what they're saying, okay, all of these would be great. I'm sorry I missed that. Sorry, could you repeat that? All right. And what I would add is if you are a true beginner, okay, they'll probably be able to notice that, okay, right off the bat or right from the beginning. Okay. Could you repeat that slowly? All right. So I would add the adverb slowly there. Yeah, Andrew, did you have a question?
Yeah, Chet. Can I say like this? Can you please do me a favor and repeat one more time? Do
Yeah,
a favor. Yeah.
that would be just fine as well. All right.
Mhm.
Sorry, could you do me a favor and repeat that slowly? Okay, or could you do me a favor and repeat that?
Mhm.
All right, and that would be just fine as well. Yeah, when you ask someone to do you a favor, it's like saying sorry as well. Okay,
Okay.
so
Okay.
it's like an extended way to say sorry. All right,
Mhm.
but yeah, adding slowly there. Okay, that'll make someone realize that okay, they didn't catch everything, because if they go through and they're talking this fast and blah, 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 okay, and you say sorry, could you repeat that? And they go, oh sure, and right, and they spit it out at the same speed. Okay, but if you say slowly, okay, they'll slow down how they talk so that you can understand them a bit easier. Okay. And let's go to our last set of phrases. This is for Andrew. Andrew, go ahead and read this, please.
Do you have any other questions or concerns? Are there any other questions at this time? Can I help you with anything else? If you have any other questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
All right, very good. Now, these questions here, you guys can be used for in many different situations. Anytime when you are in the service industry, okay, service industry,
Mhm. Like,
these are great to ask. Do you have any other questions or concerns? Okay, this is definitely something that the teacher would ask you at the end of your meeting. Okay, do you have any other questions or concerns? All right, are there any other questions at this time? Okay, you'll also hear these when if you go to a seminar, okay, if you go to anything else that's educational, okay, maybe even a group job interview or a job training session. All right, in class as well, are there any other questions here in English class? Okay, things like that. That's when we use these phrases. Questions, you guys. This is a key word. Okay, for the true beginners out there, questions is when you want to know something more. Okay, or if something was unclear. All right, and all of these are quite typical. Okay, now are there any other questions at this time? You guys have any questions for me?
No,
no, I
Not
don't.
so much.
no,
Okay,
no.
very good. All right, let's scroll down to page number 3. All right, so here we have 4 different categories. Okay, the teacher, office, another parent, and his or her child. Okay, these are all of our vocabulary words here that we're going to be going over. All right, and I want you to read the word and tell me which category it belongs in. Now, a word can go into more than one category at sometimes. Okay, so one word doesn't necessarily only need to go into one particular one. It can go into many different categories. So, for example, immunizations. Okay, that information would go in the office. So immunizations, so when you have your shots against malaria or hepatitis, things like that, that type of information would go to the office. Okay, another parent. Okay, when there's another parent around, arranging a play date. Okay, a play date is when two kids get together formally, all right, and they go and play, or you're invited over to that person's house, okay, to play. All right, and usually with that, the parents talk to each other, and the parents become friends as well as the children becoming friends. Okay, his or her child at school. Okay, a science project, completion. Or yeah, completion, not competition, but completion. Okay, so we're going to be putting these words into categories. All right, let's start off with Laszlo.
Daycare. Oh.
Okay, and that's pronounced day.
What's the meaning
daycare.
of the daycare? This is the kindergarten, but.
Yes, it would be like a kindergarten. You could also drop them with another adult, okay, or another another adult that watches children. They could have a daycare there at their own house.
Okay, I think this another parent.
Okay, very good. Yeah, so that's who the person should go to for advice or questions or concerns about this. Okay, that's so yes, it goes to another parent.
Parent.
Okay, so yeah, so the main point, guys. Sorry, I skipped over this. Who should the parent go to for answers to questions and concerns about these items? So if they have a question or concern about daycare, yeah, go and talk to another parent. Okay, now let's skip over these two that are checked. Andrew, this one right here, please.
Okay, tonight's homework. His or her child.
Okay, his or her child. Who else could they talk to?
Maybe teacher. Just
okay.
To get some task.
Okay. All right, yeah. So talking to them about their homework, okay, both with his or her child and the teacher. Okay, excellent. All right, let's go to the next word here. This is for Laszlo.
Bullying.
Yeah, that's pronounced bullying. Okay. All right. Now let's check out bullying. Okay. Let me show you an image of what it would be like. All right. So bullying. All right. So this would be bullying, where you have one child, okay, laughing or picking on another child. All right. Okay. You have maybe kids fighting. Okay, pulling hair. So these three girls here are picking on the blonde one there in the middle. Okay, laughing at other kids, things like that. That's what's called bullying. Now, if there was a problem with bullying, who should the parent talk to?
Another parent.
Okay, yeah. They could definitely talk to the other parent. Who else could they talk to?
The teacher.
Good, yeah, the teacher. Okay, the teacher in the class. Okay, and yeah, so those would be the first two definitely. Then you could also talk to the child if the problem continues. If the problem continues, then talk to the office. But that's if it continues. Okay?
Okay.
All All right, let's go to Andrew. Next one, please.
Planned absence or absence? Absence, yeah.
Absence. Absence.
Planned absence. Mhm. I think they can talk to the teacher first of all.
Sure, sure. Yeah, the teacher, the child's teacher, yeah, so that they definitely know. Okay, very good,
Mhm.
very good. How about our next word here, Laszlo?
Whew, volunteering.
Mm-hmm.
Volunteering.
Volunteering. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
Volunteering. What mean the volunteering?
Okay. Volunteering means that you are working or helping someone for free. Okay. So if you were to volunteer at the school, you would help either the teacher or the office or whoever with their work, but you would not get paid for it.
Okay. I think the volunteering is the office.
Okay. Yeah, definitely talking to the office to set it up. Okay, because they would need to approve it. Okay, and you could also talk to the teacher as well. Okay, but principally the office, they would probably be the best people to talk to. Okay, our next word here, Andrew.
Tutoring. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Teacher, of course.
Okay, teacher. How about, is there anybody else that you could talk to?
Anybody else? First of all, parents have to know whether their child needs more extra tasks or more extra classes. Maybe they have to talk to their child first. Maybe
Okay.
to another parent. Depends on.
Yeah, yeah. So it could be that the teacher, okay, their child. Sometimes other parents know of good tutors.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like finding a good service person to do work on the house. Yeah, other parents may know of good tutors, as well as the teacher may know of good tutors. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go to our next word or next series of words there. That is for Laszlo.
Music night at the school. I think that this teacher and the office.
Okay, teacher
Yeah.
and office. Yeah, yeah, I would agree with that. Teacher and office. All right, they would take the office takes care of everything that happens at the school, especially if it's happening at night. Okay, Andrew, this here, please.
After school programs. Mm, they should talk to a teacher or to somebody else from the office.
Good, yeah, the teacher or someone at the office. Usually,
Mm-hmm.
the after-school programs will be run by the office management staff. Okay, but teachers will have prior information to it, and they could suggest things to the parents. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, the office will have more information than the teacher does, but the teacher will probably say, you know what, Andrew, I think your son or your daughter may benefit from going to this after-school program. Okay,
Okay.
all right, Laszlo, the next one, please.
The temperature of the school office.
Definitely. Definitely the office. They handle all that stuff, the maintenance and things like that of the school. Okay, temperature. All right, very good. This one right here, please, Andrew.
Class field trip. They could talk to office or to another parent.
Okay. And also,
With the teacher.
Well, here the two people that would probably be closest is going to be the child to it and the teacher. The teacher would plan the class field trip, and then submit the field trip information to the office. So yes, the office will have information about it, but definitely ask the child. And well, at least for me, I ask the child, and then if the child doesn't know anything, I go to another parent in the class. I'm like, hey, what do you know about the class field trip? What are they doing? Okay, if neither the child or the parent really knows much about it, then I would go to the teacher. But yeah, so the child, the teacher, things like that. So information about the class usually would go kind of in that order. Okay,
Okay.
all right, and this next one here, please, Laszlo.
Inviting a child to a party, parents and child.
Good, yes, parents and child, definitely. Okay, let's see here. Next one here, please,
Lunch
Andrew.
lunch preferences. First of all, we have to get to know a child's preferences about food. Yeah.
Sure.
And
Definitely, yeah. So, getting to know what your child likes, okay, for their lunch preferences, and that would be eating, what they like to eat, okay, not where
yeah.
they like to eat or when they like to eat, but what, okay, what type of food they like to eat. All right. Okay. Next one here,
Student,
please, Laszlo.
student allergies. Student, parent and child and teacher.
All right. So yeah, so definitely another parent, the child, the teacher. Okay. Sometimes with the office as well. So for example, if your child has what's called a peanut allergy, okay, which would mean that if they come in contact with peanut on their skin, or or if they eat it, or things like that, if they have what's called a nut or some sort of a nut allergy, it's best to tell the whole world. Okay. Okay, and that's called a nut allergy. Okay, because a nut allergy can be very, very dangerous if you don't have what's called an EpiPen. Okay, an EpiPen there with you. All right, the child or the individual could die very quickly if they come in contact with it. So it's best, to tell everybody that you can think of that the child has this allergy. All right, and remind them about it, and remind them that that they have the EpiPen in their backpack, or they have it at the office, or in the classroom, things like that. This is actually an interesting project. One of my one of my best friends, he is a doctor, and he worked on in the United States supplying EpiPens not only to schools, but to the classrooms, because sometimes if you have to run to the nurse's office, okay, and then come back, the child could have already sustained some damages and whatnot, and you may not be able to repair it. But if the classroom is one step closer, okay, and so he worked on a project of getting EpiPens closer to children, just in case there was any sort of problem like that. Yeah, so with allergies, make sure to tell everybody about them. You want everybody to know that that child has an allergy that way. Okay. Good. Let's go to.
Extra homework.
Uh-huh.
Parents can talk to teacher.
Yeah.
Or also they can talk with another parents to get to know whether it helped to their child or not.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Yeah. Talking with another parent, talking with the teacher, things like that. Okay. Excellent.
Hmm.
Excellent. Let's go to Laszlo.
reading level, teacher.
Okay, yeah, talking about the reading level with the child. Okay, talking with the teacher. Okay, excellent. All right, next one here, please.
Parking rules. Uh, First of all, they have to talk to the office, yeah, to
Uh-huh.
define parking rules. It's rules on the parking lot, yeah, right?
Yes, yeah, the rules of the parking lot. Definitely talking with the
Okay.
office.
Yeah,
They would be in charge of that.
yeah. Chad, how's it called? It's like a private parking lot place.
It's called the school parking lot.
The school parking lot. Okay.
Okay, it is I guess what you would call private. All right,
Yeah, yeah.
but you would have to. Well, let's see. They usually have a visitors parking. So let's see. So we have the school parking lot. If you are a parent, you would park in what's called visitors parking.
Visitors parking. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Yeah.
Okay, visitors parking, and those signs look like this, you guys. Okay, so you'll see visitors only parking, um, uh, parking visitor just like this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see here. Yeah, look for arrows reserved for visitors. Okay, now this is important because schools especially they like to ticket people for parking for not following the parking rules. All right, I can't even tell you how many tickets I've gotten at schools thinking that I would be fast enough, all right, to go in and out before they catch my car being there, instead of having to pay any money, paying a small amount of money, okay, to get a small day pass, you know, for like $2 or $3. I'm like, oh, well, I can get in there quickly. Yeah, a fine would be a ticket. Okay, so yeah, they would fine you, and usually those parking tickets are anywhere from $15 to $35. So yes, I then learned that it's best to buy the day pass instead of paying $15 to $35 when you thought that you could be fast enough and you were not. Okay, so yes, the school parking lot, and then visitor parking. If you are going to meet with someone, make sure that you park in the visitors parking space. Okay. Now, those rules may not apply after 6 o'clock or after 5 o'clock. Okay, usually in business hours they have certain restrictions, but after a certain time, maybe 5 or 6 o'clock, those restrictions do not apply. Okay. All right, let's go to Laszlo and our next one here. All right, so parking rules. Okay, this one right here, please.
Remembering bike lock.
Yeah, that is lock.
Lock. I think the child.
Okay, and that would be child.
Child.
Okay,
Child.
excellent. Yep, so talking with the child. Okay, let's go to our next one here.
Yeah. Missing water bottle. You know, that's a weird. That's a bit weird question for me. Missing water bottle. For example, what if a student needs his bottle of water in the class? So, is that a problem or what?
I know it's a funny problem or funny issue to have. You can replace that with anything that goes missing, I guess, in the class. But yeah, it's a funny problem to have, a missing water bottle. Ooh, what else is next? You know? But
Yeah.
yeah, so if you have, let's say that it's a missing box of crayons or a missing book, something like
Yeah.
that. Who would you talk to then?
Yeah. Missing book or okay. I would talk with the teacher. I would talk to the teacher first of all and ask him whether he or she see it or not.
Hmm.
Maybe I would talk with another student. Maybe somebody took this book and picked it. Maybe somebody picked this book up and went it to the office or gave it to a teacher.
Sure, sure, definitely, yeah. And in fact, we went over this with my daughter in school. We have there's a girl that likes to ask to borrow things, and then she never returns it. And so and so it's like a box of crayons or scissors or something like that that she had borrowed from my daughter and then never returned it. And my daughter went to ask for it, and she's like, "What are you talking about? I didn't take it." It's like, "Well, I gave it to you." She's like, "No, you didn't. These are mine." And so the child would do that and then basically just steal it. And so, yes, we had to
Yeah.
go talk to the teacher. Like, all right, this is what the child is doing. She's stealing Cosette's things. We've talked to Cosette. Cosette's my daughter, and told her not to let any children borrow her things anymore. Because a lot of them are like, well, your dad's American. He can buy you whatever you want. Like, no, things are expensive. I don't want to supply everybody everything. But yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
it was a situation that we had to go through as well. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so definitely talking to the teacher. Okay, how about this one here, Laszlo?
Book orders,
Okay, and that word would be book instead of book. Book,
book,
book.
book orders,
Uh-huh.
mm, teacher,
Yeah, definitely talking to the teacher. The teacher may say, "Go talk with the office," because the office would more than likely be in charge of all materials for the classes, things like that. The teacher may go do that for you, but they may recommend that you talk with the office as well. Okay, but okay, very good. Any questions about any of these words here in our vocabulary list?
No, no questions.
No.
no.
Okay. Awesome. Well, that's all I have for this class this hour, you guys. We're ending just a bit early, but that's okay. You guys did very well.
Okay.
All right. Thanks,
Bye
Thank,
bye.
guys. All
thank
Thank you
right.
for
We'll
the
see ya.
class.
Take care.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye bye.